April 2nd is World Autism Awareness Day.
And the month of April is World Autism Month.
In 2014, the CDC estimated that 1 out of every 68 children were diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD.
But more recent surveys and research indicate that the prevalence of autism could be much higher, with as many as 1 out of every 45 children diagnosed.
Worldwide, approximately 1% of the population is diagnosed with ASD.
So what is autism?
Autism spectrum disorders are characterized by social interaction difficulties, communication challenges, and tendencies to engage in repetitive behaviors.
The symptoms of autism can vary from mild challenges for a person on the high-functioning end of the spectrum to severe symptoms where repetitive behaviors and lack of speech make it hard for those affected to navigate their day-to-day lives.
In addition to the core symptoms of ASD, those diagnosed can also experience seizures, sleep issues, mood disorders, hyperactivity, and other related disorders.
While this is a lifelong condition, the good news is that every person diagnosed with ASD can benefit from therapies that can help them lessen the severity of their symptoms and help them increase the skills they needed in their lives.
There are many organizations that support individuals with ASD and their families. These include the National Autism Association, Autism Speaks, the Autism Society, Next for Autism, and many others.
There are also hundreds of clinics, therapy centers, mental health care providers, camps, and more across the country that provide the therapies, care, and support individuals with ASD need.
Unfortunately, caring for the symptoms of ASD is not enough. As a society, we need to work together to accept and include those with autism.
People with ASD may have trouble understanding social cues or knowing how to fit in, but they can be just as friendly, brilliant, laughable, and extraordinary as you and me.
The past few years have seen a surge of autism-related stories in our media and popular culture.
In 2010, the biopic Temple Grandin showed us the life of the inspiring autistic woman.
While Parenthood became the first show on national television to show a realistic depiction of a child diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome.
Last year took another big step forward towards autism acceptance with the premieres of 2 shows centered on autistic characters.
Atypical on Netflix follows Sam, an autistic high schooler, as he learns about dating, and The Good Doctor on ABC tells the story of Sean, a brilliant surgeon with ASD.
Both of these shows broke ground by placing a person with autism front and center.
To get a more realistic picture of a person living with autism, you can watch the documentary Life Animated, which chronicles how a family helped their autistic son Owen grow up using the magic of Disney's animated films.
If you want to see how lively and incredibly funny a person with autism can be, check out Speechless with Carly Fleshman on YouTube.
As amazing as Sam's, Sean's, Owen's, and Carly's stories are, there are 3.5 million Americans living with autism who need the same acceptance by all of us.
Unfortunately, most of these people living with ASD will have to work to be accepted without national news or media attention.
The reason we care so much is that our son Jackson is autistic.
Oh. He's nonverbal, so he struggles daily to express his wants, needs, and feelings.
Love. Love mom. You love. Say I love you.
He communicates using gestures, sign language, and an augmentative communication device, all of which is encouraged by his speech therapy sessions and daily interactions. You want to watch a movie? On your iPad, a movie? Say yay!
Jackson also partakes in occupational therapy to help develop his motor skills, such as handwriting, dressing, and working with small objects for hand manipulation. But Jackson's autism doesn't stop him from being a smiling, laughing, outgoing kid. Autism doesn't define Jackson, it's just a piece of him.
We've been lucky that Jackson's school has an amazing team of teachers, paras, and special educators to help guide him and help teach his class how to accept him for who he is.
And we want every person living with ASD to be accepted like he has.
So what can you do?
Get to know an autistic person.
Help an autistic coworker get better at their job.
Tutor an autistic child.
Volunteer at a local support organization.
Participate in a local puzzle walk this month.
Donate to any one of the amazing organizations that help support people with ASD and their families.
You can make a difference.
You can help someone with autism feel supported,
more included,
more loved.
more accepted.